Hello everyone, this is GK and today we're going to talk about C and data structures. Okay, so these are the few points which I'm going to discuss in this video. And the first point is what is C, where it is used now, and what is a compiler and what's the purpose of it. Small program to print hello world using C programming language. Okay, so when I talk about what is C, C is a computer programming language. So I can even specifically tell that C is a structured programming language. Okay, it was developed by Dennis Ritchie in the year 1972. Okay, and C is an high level programming language, and this is a base for all high level programming languages like Java, C Sharp, Ruby, JavaScript, etc. Okay, and where it is used now. If I talk about where it is used, so most of the operating system, like if you take Windows operating system or Linux operating system, and we have mobile like Android, iOS, and we have most of the IoT products are developed using C language. Okay, so let me you know come to this point, like what is a compiler and what's the purpose of it, right? So if I want to talk about compiler, let me give a new example so that you can understand it in a better way. Okay, so let's take, there are two people. One is person named A who speaks only French, and there is a person B who speaks only Spanish. Okay, and they both needs to communicate. So because whatever the person A speaks, right, it is French and Spanish, and both cannot understand, right? If person A speaks French, B cannot understand. If person B speaks Spanish, person A cannot understand. So in order to do communication between A and B, we should have a communicator who speaks, transmitter I can say, who speaks both French and Spanish. Okay, so this guy, what he can do is he can translate from French, take inputs from the French guy and translate to Spanish and communicate the same to B. In the same way, if you take the response from B, which is in the form of Spanish, he can take input and convey it to A in French, right? So this is how the communication happens. Okay, so in the same manner, if we have a computer, which we all know that computer is accepts only a binary language, right? Okay, so in which language we are writing the code? So we are writing a code in C language. So this can be anything, however I don't want to get into that. So now I'm going to talk about only C language, right? So we have written the piece of code in C language, and this is my computer. Okay, so computer understands only binary language. Okay, computer understands only binary language, that is, which is in the form of zeros and ones. Okay, and whatever code that which we have written is in the form of C language. Okay, so both are different. If you pass the same code which we have written to the computer, it cannot understand that. Okay, so in order to transmit from C language to computer language, we use a compiler. Compiler used to transform from C language to computer language, which is in the form of binary language. Okay, so this is the main purpose of compiler. Okay, so compiler, so once we write the piece of code, we call the compiler to convert the piece of code from C language to binary code, and which would be transmitted to computer. And from binary language, once we get the output in the form of binary language, it will give back to compiler, from compiler to C language, that which we could able to see. Okay, so that is the main purpose of compiler, which converts programming language to computer language. Okay, so in addition to that, it also checks the syntactical errors which we have written in the programming language. If we have any syntactical errors, that will be caught in the compiler itself, while compiling the code itself. So we're gonna see about that in the upcoming sessions. However, the main purpose of compiler is to convert programming language to computer language, that is binary language, and also to check the syntactical errors. If we have any syntactical errors in the code, which can be caught in the while compiling the code. Okay, so the main purpose of compiler is to convert system, that is user defined language. I can say this can be user defined or C language, programming language, I can say programming language to missionary language, that is binary language, which is in the form of zeros and ones. Okay, so it is developed by Dennis Ritchie in the year 1972. Okay, and the main purpose of what we have discussed, in the year 1972, and this is high level programming language. I can say structured, it is a structured programming language, and we have, this is the base for all high level programming language like Java, C#, JavaScript, etc. Okay, so let me write a piece of code which is used to print hello world using C language. Okay, so printf is the statement which is used to print in the console. Okay, so what I need to print? I need to print hello world. Okay, and we need to give semicolon for the same. So this has to be written in a main function. So we're gonna talk about the functions. There we will come across there you can know what is the purpose of main, everything. Okay, and I'm gonna use header file for the same, hash include std standard input output dot h. So printf is present in standard input output dot h library. Okay, so I'm gonna use clear screen for clearing the screen before executing the code, and also I'm gonna use get ch, gets the character it will wait in the output screen to get the character. It can be any character. Okay, so I'm gonna this is the editor which would be used for writing the C language code. Okay, so the extension for C language is .c. If you see .cpp, it is a C++ programming language. If you see C, it is only a C language. Okay, so this is the piece of code which I have written in the editor as well, that is Notepad. Okay, hello, welcome to my world. This is the piece of code which should print my in the console. Okay, so if I want to compile this piece of code, I need to use Alt F9. Okay, and if I want to run the piece of code, I need to use Control F9. Okay, so Control F9 to execute the piece of code, run the piece of code, and in order to compile it, compiler is used to convert user defined language, that is programming language, to binary language, right? Okay, so I'm gonna use Alt F9 for now. So it says successful, lines compiled, and there are no warnings, and it says like success, press any key. I'm hitting enter, and I'm using Control F9 to execute the piece of code. Here you see, hello, welcome to my world. Okay, so now, okay, so now what happens if I remove this clear screen now? What happens if I remove this clear screen and execute the piece of code again? Okay, since I have already compiled it, if I want to check whether any errors are there, still you can use Alt F9 and Control F9. You see, the console has printing the already existed result and also the current result. Okay, so now if I use clear screen now, and I'm removing getch for now, okay, and I'm running this piece of code directly, not compiling it, I'm running this. Okay, so it has successfully executed the piece of code. However, I could not see the output screen. Okay, so now what I can do is I'm removing this in order to make sure that the code is executed successfully, right? I am removing this clear screen one more time. Okay, let me show you the output first, and then we can see that. Okay, so I am executing Control F9 for now. You see, the output is hello, welcome to my world, right? Now I am removing getch and executing the piece of code. Alt F9 and Control F9. The code executed successfully, but I could not see the output. Okay, so now in order to make sure that last time the code has executed successfully, to see that, let me remove this clear screen and use getch for now. And you see, earlier it was hello, welcome to my world, and now hello, welcome to my world. So there are 2 times it has printed, which means last time the code executed successfully. Okay, so getch is, it will wait to get the character. Okay, get the character from the user. Okay, until unless you press anything, it won't come out of the output screen. That is the purpose of getch. Okay, so clear screen, right? You see CLR SCR and followed by the semicolon. Okay, so this semicolon is used to terminate the line. This semicolon is used to terminate the line. Okay, and we call it as a statement 2. Okay, so when you say there is a line ending with semicolon, we call it as a statement. And one more thing is, this is stdio.h, right? This can be written in 2 ways. One is, you can write like this and compile it to check. Okay, and in case if you use one as angular bracket and one as in double quotes, then you'll get an error stating that no file name ending. Okay, so in that case, which means we need to use either less than or greater than symbol or double quotes. Both has to be in double quotes. And that's it for now. Please do subscribe and thank you for watching.